You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
And a good morning right here as we come to you here on a Rally Towel Tuesday. Again, we appreciate you guys being with us right here. Again, Billy D in studio with me here. I'm Dave Garner till 11 o'clock this morning right here. Billy D waving the rally towel as he is back in Tuesday mode. You've been with us over the last couple of Thursdays,
yes.
But today you're joining us right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday. Back in your normal spot, presented by our friends at Geiger Legal Group, and we appreciate you guys being with us.
Back in my day, ready to go.
Back in it, man. I'm telling you, we've had a lot of good discussion over the last couple of weeks. Hey, over this next hour, we are going to break down the Derby for a minute. We'll spend a little time on this past weekend stuff. Again, I was in here yesterday with Big John Davis, and we broke down the weekend, but I'm going to give Billy D a chance to talk about some other things, of course, going on right here that happened over the weekend. We'll talk some NBA, NHL type stuff. Atlanta Braves, tough loss for our Braves last night. We'll dive into that as well and take a look at some of the other things going on in the world of sports. Man, it's already been an eventful morning. I had a doctor appointment. You and I always joke around about doctor visits and things, and you've always seemed to have a lot of drama with your doctor visits. Thankfully, I haven't had near as much drama with mine, but I did one of the things that I had to do last year, and I know this is not really a sports discussion, but we'll get into that. But the fact that I had started having some blood pressure problems, just age, wear and tear and all that kind of stuff. Had to start seeing the cardiologist there and everything, and so I had another round this morning, of going back to that. But it's so I've already been poked and prodded this morning. I've already had some blood taken. I walked in, had the little armband thing on there, and the morning show guys down the hall were like, "Hey, man, did you give blood this morning?" Well, I was like, I didn't give blood voluntarily. It was something that I had to do. But yeah, man, it sucks getting old. I mean, what can you say, man? Doctor appointments and stuff all the time.
I don't seem to have any problems. So,
well, now, but you have your appointments though.
You gotta listen. You gotta go, man. You hit a certain age, you've got to go. You got to get checked out. You got to do those things.
Right.
If you want to be here for a while, if you don't, then fine, don't go.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
You got to take care of yourself.
That's all part of it, man, right here. Hey, the phone lines are open. The Jasper Coca-Cola text line is always 866-888-0744. We appreciate you guys chiming in as we talk sports here over this next hour, leading up to Chuck Oliver at 11 o'clock with Southern Sports Today. He is the king of college football right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. The Derby the other day. Golden Tempo, again, able to win it right there. And we were talking a little bit about our picks the other day.
Crazy.
Yeah, but who would have thought, I mean, to be honest with you, when you look down the list of the horses there, and we had basically a challenge right here on the Morning Rant between all the co-hosts to add to pick the top three that we felt like, would be the top three. And we add it all up, cumulative score there. Lowest score wins, kind of like we did back during the Masters. And, a lot of us had Renegade, being up there. And, of course, he finished second. Golden Tempo, though, wins. Nobody had him on the radar at all. And it kind of just, kind of trickled down from there. And whenever we added up all the scores, it was our man Will Cooper, who we'll see on Thursday, that had the lowest score there with 20. 2, 7, 11 were his places. You were next, Billy D, at 9, 10, 11. You were right in the middle on everything.
Yeah.
And then
they were all at the front there till the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
All three of them.
And then I was next with a combined score of 34, and then Big John right behind me at 36. But yeah, it was one of those crazy races, and I don't know if you've seen the video of how far back Golden Tempo came in the final turn to win that race. I mean, it was insane. I mean, he was basically at the back of the pack coming into that, about halfway through that final turn there. What would be turn 4, I guess, essentially on a racetrack. But yeah, I mean, what a surge to get the victory.
This is why I could never do horse betting. Gambling. It just,
right.
It doesn't make any sense. You're betting on an animal. You don't know what that animal wants to do that day.
Exactly.
I mean, he just came from the back. All of a sudden, he's just faster than everybody else on the field. What cracks me up about the Derby, and they're talking about it. They're talking about these horses as if they're athletes, right? This is mental preparation there. Mental preparation for a horse. Like, how do you know what the mental preparation for a horse is? I mean, come on,
man. Yeah, I know, man. I don't get it.
Too much.
First female trainer in history, by the way, to win the Derby there. The big talk, though, came after the fact because NBC abruptly cut away from their coverage before they even donned the roses on the winning horse to get to the Sixers Celtics Game 7 coverage. But my whole thing is, like, why in the world would you have those things so close? I mean, TV dictates the scheduling now. Why would you have to cut away from a game? I mean, the Derby's been running for 100 and however many years. I mean, basically how that broadcast is going to time out. I know it was a little bit delayed because they had to restart the gate, reload the gate with the horses. But, I mean, an extra 2 minutes or so? I mean, come on. They cut away. We didn't even get to see the roses being put on the horse. They didn't even get to talk about, the first female trainer in history. There were so many great stories that I felt like NBC missed out on due to them abruptly cutting away to get us to, Game 7 of a basketball.
Well, I cut away before they cut away, so I didn't see that happen.
Well, by the time I can pretty much guarantee that by the time you cut away, they cut away, and that's why they're receiving a little bit of criticism.
Which is probably why they cut away.
Yeah, well, they cut away because you cut away. That's what it was. So
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, Derby in the books, and the reason we bring it up, obviously, we had our little challenge right here. Maybe you guys did too. Last week, you and I were talking about DJing a Kentucky Derby party back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. People got all dressed up, the big hats and all that kind of stuff. That tends to be, the pageantry of what is the Kentucky Derby. Hey, on another note, I don't know if you saw this or not, but legendary broadcaster again, John Sterling, passed away. We talked about it a couple weeks ago whenever we lost, some folks in the broadcast world, and obviously Bo Bach here a little bit closer to home in Atlanta, passing away a couple weeks ago, and we talked about that right here on the program, and of course our experiences with Bo. And on a little bit more regional scale, John Sterling was with the Yankees forever. He's legendary Yankees broadcaster that was there for decades, but for some of you out there that are old enough, like myself, to remember John Sterling being in Atlanta years ago as one of the Braves announcers when I was a kid growing up back in those old Dale Murphy days, and I was watching the old video after his passing. When they announced his passing, somebody posted the old video of the Braves 18-inning game against the Mets where, Rick Camp basically hit the home run there to keep the game going. I think the Braves would eventually lose, but it was a 18-plus inning ball game. But John Sterling was on the call of that game, and I remember John Sterling being in Atlanta for a brief time. And, of course, he transitioned, did some basketball, some different things, too. I think he did the Hawks for a little while. And that was very early 80s. I mean, that was very much a long time ago. Of course, ended up leaving, going to New York, and becoming the broadcaster of the New York Yankees for a long time. But, yeah, he passed away yesterday there. So, again, a lot of broadcast memory, certainly for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really, I think what's really special about your broadcast people and your radio personalities, whatever. You have a voice that just kind of you're used to hearing, that's comfortable to you, that you've heard for years and years and years. And it just, when you hear it, even when you hear old clips, it takes you back to that moment, when you heard them make those calls. And that's what's really special about those guys, is we're doing it for so long, and those memories don't just go away.
Right, yeah. And I've always said it. I mean, I think radio gives you that connectivity to the audience even more so uniquely than TV or other mediums for that matter, print, what have you, simply because you do feel like you relate with the folks that are on air a lot more. There's a lot more. It's not as, radio's not always as scripted as television. It's not always straightforward, when you're watching TV and somebody's sitting behind a desk and they're presenting a newscast or whatever the case may be, or even in a sports world, you don't always feel as connected. But when you're listening to that local radio station, you're listening to that local DJ or whatever, you feel like you know these people. Like you feel like you really do get to know them, and that's what I see really on both sides of this. Whether you're on the radio side or whether you're a listener, you kind of have that connectivity, and so that's really what it's all about. Speaking of connectivity, again, Jasper Coca-Cola text line open, 866-888-0744. We want to hear from you. Share your favorite, any kind of John Sterling memory or what have you, or your favorite broadcaster from all time. We've had this conversation before where we've talked about the Jim Nances of the world, the different folks like that. We also, you and I, a couple weeks ago right here, shared our top 3 MCs, hip hop of all time. So maybe we can come up with another list here in this next 50 minutes or so to share with people, because those things, man, seem to get good pop for whatever reason, man.
Well, what kind of list are you looking for? Eh? You got to give me a heads up, because I can't just pop these out of my top of my head sometimes.
The thing about it, I was joking around. So yesterday, for those of you watching on YouTube or listening or what have you, if you listened to the show yesterday after the live radio show, you had no clue of this. You heard me come on the air, and I was kind of discombobulated, thanking everybody 100 times for listening to the show, as I always do. But I actually got into the chair a little bit late because we had some meetings. As some folks know, I do other things in the building other than just this show. And so we had some meetings, and I broke away a little bit too late, and that's my fault. Lost track. I was trying to time it out. And the intro to the show, now, again, in post-production, I'm telling on myself right now, in post-production, you would never know it. The thing airs, and then, boom, you pop right in. But the live radio version yesterday, there was a few seconds of some dead air as we started things out here, because the intro had already finished rolling before I ever really slid into the chair. I'm throwing on my headset. Big John's hanging out, ready to go, like, dude, what's going on? And we were able to get the show on the air. So I'm already ahead of the thing this morning, Billy D, because you and I were sitting down here before the show started, and it was nice. But then the intro didn't kick in right away here on the radio show. So it was like, okay, well, wait a minute. What's going on? Now I'm here, and now the intro's not playing. So we're going to get these things worked out. We've only been doing this for going into our 3rd month now.
Well, I'd hate to have to do my own intro with a beatbox or something,
We could do. Hey, man, you know what?
Get that figured out.
There you go, man. You know what? Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we hit a little beatbox for them.
I've done that a long time.
In that last segment of the show right here on the Morning Rant. Hey, thanks for being with us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have our Now That's What I'm Talking About segment. And then a little bit later on in the program, we're going to have our 100% chiropractic moment of the week with Dr. Keith Reege and Canton. Of course, we will keep it real with Billy D in the 3rd segment, and we'll also have our restaurant inspection score update as well right here on the program. Again, the Morning Rant here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Big app and online at sportsbigradio.com.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the pub in Ella J is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East Ella J. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The Pub in Ella J, where every visit feels like home. 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball. big opinions
Nobody pray for me.
of the big
They been out
games
there for me.
from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY, the Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down. Leon.
Back here on the Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open. 866-888-0744. Shoot us a text and let us know what's on your mind right here. Again, we appreciate you guys being with us. Dave Garner and my man Billy D in here till 11 o'clock this morning as we bring you the latest in the world of sports. And we were talking a little bit about some things going on over the weekend there. Again, tomorrow is a big day for the program. We will be, our first ever 2-hour show will take place tomorrow. We're going to go from 10 to 12 tomorrow at the Pub in LJ for our Winging It Wednesday. Again, the Pub in LJ, $1 wings all day long. Tomorrow we will be there.
Sounds good.
Again, in LJ. And, the pub is kind of, it's right there next to behind McDonald's and the Mexican restaurant over there. So, again, if you haven't been there, come on by, stop on by. We'll be there tomorrow from 10 to 12. Now, they don't technically open till 11. We'll be broadcasting from right outside the door there starting at 10, but they do open at 11, so we'll be there for an hour. And hopefully, you'll get by there. Come by and see us. Come hang out. Maybe we'll have a stress ball or a rally towel for you or something. But we'll have some guests popping in and out as we get set to do a 2-hour show tomorrow in LJ as part of our Winging It Wednesday. So, again, that's tomorrow from 10 to 12 right here on the Sports Pig. We've got a big show coming up next Friday, the 15th. And again, that is our Bradley's Brunch and Lunch that's taking place at Bradley's Bar and Grill off of Lower Roswell Road in East Cobb. And we're encouraging everyone to come by. If you're able to come by that day and you're in the area, come by. We're going to be doing a 3-hour show that day from 10 to 1. Again, brunch and lunch brought to you by our friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Again, the number one upscale dive bar in all of East Cobb since the late 90s. Again, that'll be part of our Friday happy hour edition of the program. So hopefully you guys will come see us there as well. Very excited about everything that we've got going on. A lot of live appearances here over the next couple of weeks right here on the program.
From the buzzer beaters to the big hits. If it's making noise in the world of sports, we've got something to say about it. This is Now That's What I'm Talking About.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your all-access pass to the hottest takes in the world of sports.
All right, so we were talking about your previous golf tournaments, and you and I were talking about some golf during the break there. Again, a big weekend for Cam Young, who, of course, won PGA event there, 6 strokes better than Scotty Scheffler. 19-under tournament for Cam Young, who came out of the gate firing. But unfortunately for our own Billy D, things didn't quite go as well this weekend, man. You had, and I'm not going to bring a lot of light to it. I'm going to let you talk about it, but it's just golf, man. I mean, it's a game that humbles you. So, talk about your season so far and what happened this weekend.
Listen, so shout out Next Level Golf League. This is a lot of fun, but here's the thing. There's a saying about golf. It's a game that you rent, you never own. Okay,
right, yeah.
And so that's why you don't see people that just dominate it for long periods of time. You'll see them dominate for a couple of years, whatnot. But anyway, I was feeling so good about this tournament. Honestly, I was hitting the ball really well, really smooth, clean, getting everything I want. Matter of fact, I was so excited about this tournament. I didn't sleep well Friday night. I kept waking up. I was ready to go.
Problem right there.
I was so ready to go. I couldn't even sleep. I get to the course. I warm up, and I'm just smoking it. I'm like, I don't even want to hit a lot of balls because I'm just right. I'm ready to go.
You're feeling it. Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
You ready?
Man, I get out on the first tee, the very first tee.
Yeah.
Shank straight left into a tree. I was like, what happened? What happened?
And that sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Man,
when that happens.
It didn't get any better from there. And then I ended up shooting 7 strokes worse than I did on my practice round the week before.
Wow.
Which is wild. Right? Yeah. So But, that's golf. Ended up coming in, I think it was 4th place or something like that. So,
still not bad, though. I mean, it's still a good round. I mean,
but it's just not good.
Yeah, well, for somebody that's already won, 2 tournaments. I mean, you look at a 4th place finish and you think, man, that
But
was
we
awful.
actually got 2 more tournaments this month. So this month we actually have 3 tournaments.
Okay,
so I got a chance to come back.
Redemption time right here for Billy D here again.
Yes.
Next Level Golf Club, man. I like it. But we were talking again. Cam Young, great tournament. I know a lot of us had Cam Young doing well at the Masters. Whenever speaking of our little, co-host our friend thing that we did right here at the on the show, but again, a dominating performance over the weekend there by Cam Young. And you were telling me, and I'm trying to think, it seemed like, and I guess it was this weekend or maybe, but Cam Young reported his own penalty, I think, on a particular
he was sitting there, he's talked about this. It's happened to him a couple of times. So apparently what he was saying is that I guess he sets his club down too harshly around the ball when he's getting ready to swing, and I guess that little movement of the grass makes the ball just ever so slightly move, and technically that's a penalty, even though nobody would have called it on him.
Right.
He called it on himself, which is kind of what the integrity of the game is all about.
Yeah.
But I think with the way those cameras zoom in, they're going to find it anyway. So you might as well call it on yourself.
Might as well call it. Now it makes me wonder. Now it's easy to, and I'm not sure where he was at the time that happened, but I mean when you got a 6-stroke lead, you can do that. It makes you wonder though, if they're even going into 18, is he going to report that? I mean, hey, that might have cost him the tournament at that point. So I'm not sure.
I got to tell you, I might have to have somebody else call it on me.
I mean, if I'm in that moment and I'm standing over that ball and I notice that, and it's a 1-stroke, round, and we're coming down to it,
It changes nothing.
Yeah.
It really does.
Right.
It changes anything.
It changes everything. But, that was the Miami Championship, by the way. Speaking of Miami, F1 racing down there as well over the weekend. And I saw some folks actually here in our North Georgia area that made the trip down there. And, that's one of those things that my son got into a lot last year was Formula One racing. Still follows it a little bit. I've kind of jumped on board somewhat. I'm not terribly gung-ho yet. Like, I'm not going out and buying all the gear or anything like that. But I know there are a lot of folks in the area that do tend to follow F1. So.
IR racing has got it made more popular. I've got neighbors who do it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You can get into it. Of course, my neighbor's a little bit wild. I mean, his setup's probably about 10, 12 grand, something like that. I went over there and like you're sliding forward. I mean, you feel every bump, and the whole system is turning with you while you turn. It is an absolute blast. But, that's all things that help you get more into it. Plus, they have that Netflix series, F1, which is really great. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out.
I'd like to watch that. There's a lot of folks. We've got a guy that works here, and I'll keep his name out of it. But he's a big, kind of like a gamer. But the stuff that he does is it's simulators, right? So it's like trucking simulators, things like that. I'm like, well, what's the purpose of it? Like, how do you win? Well, you don't really win. You just drive. And I'm like, so you're not trying to win a race, you're not, like, what's the purpose of it? That's just to explore it, because a lot of these simulators, like, you drive, you make deliveries or whatever. If you're a truck driver, you're just driving through the countryside, and it's kind of a realistic view, I guess, of the surroundings. So, like, you could drive from Atlanta to wherever, and it'll cut out some of the middle part of it, but you can spend all day and night just driving.
I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the AR racing though.
Yeah, the racing thing would be kind of cool. But, hey, it's whatever flavor. But I guess the point of it is there's a lot of things out there, like that exist. They're a lot of fun. But, hey, man, to each their own, right? That's what it's all about. But, again, we appreciate you guys being with us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Once again, North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney is Geiger. Let them tell your story today at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG. Hey, here's another phone number for you. The Jasper Coca-Cola text line now open right here on the Morning Ramp. 866-888-0744. That's 866-888-0PIG, P-I-G, 70744. If you want to chime in about anything. I had a caller yesterday again. That was Danny from Chatsworth talking a little bit about Matt Olson, talking about the Atlanta Braves a little bit as we chop it up right here. Speaking of the Braves, they again fell last night. First game in Seattle to the Mariners, 5-4. Now here's a stat. And I'm kind of playing around with Billy here a little bit because we've had this whole, small ball versus, combination. And speaking of, by the way, I don't know if you saw this the other night, but the Braves actually bunted in a run. Now, I haven't seen them do that in a long time. That was pretty out of the box for them. But there was a guy at third, and a guy actually bunted in a run from third, and I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy.
This must have been so exciting for you.
Well, it was exciting because, and here's the point I'm trying to make. So if you look at the game from last night, the Braves hit 4 home runs in the game. Mm-hmm. 4 solo home runs, and they lost 5-4.
Yeah, it happens.
And it happens. I mean, you're right. But again, it was just kind of a tough outing. Again, J.D. Ritchie came in, looked good till he didn't. Later on in the 5th inning, was pulled. Kinley comes in. He gives up a couple of runs as well. The Mariners doing most of their damage in that 6th inning, and they win 5-4 as the Braves bats never really recovered the rest of the game. Of course, Acuna out right now with the hamstring. We saw Drake Baldwin in the leadoff spot.
Imagine that. Acuna out again.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I mean, I know, and we've talked about that right here on the program as well. So, again, Acuna out right now, at least kind of day-to-day with that hamstring, so we'll see what happens. That is one of those things, though, that does linger, and you can't put a timeline on it.
A lot of things seem to linger with Acuna.
Yeah, I know. You're not a fan, man.
I like Acuna. It's just,
No, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Yeah, so.
Your most powerful tool is availability.
Right.
Your biggest ability is availability.
Yeah.
Got to be available, man.
Got to be available. Yeah, exactly. Again, it's like that. It's like that girl that you like, but she's already kind of in a relationship or something. I guess, right? She's just not.
That wasn't a problem for me. That's how I got my wife.
Oh man! Again, it's off the rails here on a Rally Towel Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, Drake Baldwin going deep last night. Ozzie with another home run. Matt Olson with another home run. I mean, those guys continue to rake. Austin Riley. The good news is Austin is starting to kind of regain his form. He homers last night as well. But again, all 4 of those home runs, no one was on base. So that's one thing. That was a microcosm, that game last night, of the 2025 Braves. I mean, really, to a certain extent. And 2024 even, if you want to go back even further. Fortunately for Atlanta, we haven't really seen a lot of that this year. I mean, they've been able to get the timely hits. They've been able to get guys on base and then bring them home. But last night, a situation where they were just unable to do that late in the ball game. And then, of course, they give up the 5 runs there. So they'll go at it again tonight. This really, it starts a tough stretch for the Atlanta Braves because they're on the road now. For the next 9 or 10. They've got Seattle. Then they go to L.A. to take on the Dodgers. And then they'll actually come back home after that. But then they've got the Cubs, who right now are leading the Central, and they're playing some really good baseball. They've got just as good a record as the Dodgers, and they're right on our heels for the best record in the National League. So again, kind of a tough stretch of games. The Mariners are playing well. So again, we're going to find out a lot more about our Braves team. They've gotten off to a great start, but definitely a challenging week and a half ahead as we progress throughout the season. Hey, we're up against our second break. When we come back, we will have our Tuesday Chiropractic Moment of the week with Dr. Keith, and we'll talk a little bit more about restaurant inspection scores and some other things going on in the world of sports right here with my man, Billy D. I'm Dave Garner with you right here on this Rally Towels Tuesday. Stay with us right here. Again, we are the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the SportsPig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
98.1 1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, your official home for flag-to-flag coverage of NASCAR. We bring the heat, you bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and sportspigradio.com.
Back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Half hour already in the books. This next half hour, though, is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some explosiveness here in a moment as Billy D brings it as we officially wrap up the Atlanta Hawks season. And Billy D got something to say. So we'll get to that here in just a few moments on the program. And then, of course, in segment 4, we're going to talk a little bit more about our restaurant inspections, some of the other scores and things like that that are coming up. So, again, we appreciate you guys being with us once again on this Rally Towel Tuesday. And time now for a little segment we like to call, again, our Chiropractic Moment right here from 100% Chiropractic in Canton. Again, Dr. Keith Regie once again joining us right here quickly on the program. Man, Keith, I hope you're well this morning. Hey, real quick, what are the most common issues you see from the pros to the weekend warriors? I know we talked a little bit about this last week when you joined us, but what do you deal with most, you would say, in your clinic?
It's always going to be, whatever you're doing repetitive. For example, if you're a pitcher, what you're doing every time that you go into the game, you're using that same arm over and over and over. So, you're more likely to see issues, as far as I'm concerned, usually with the upper back, the neck, the whole shoulder girdle itself. Those are typically the type of things that you'll get complaints of, and things that we certainly can address and help gather strength and help with the endurance of those type of players. There you go.
I like it. We've been talking a lot about baseball here this morning as well. We just got done talking about the Braves. I know you deal with a lot of high school, student athletes, things like that. Baseball wear and tear. What are some of the warning signs that folks should be looking for? What are some of the things that you see, especially with some of those like baseball types, those pitchers and folks like that?
Well, certainly, it's more than obvious, pain. Pain is always going to tell you, hey, you need to pay attention to what's going on here. And even if it's just slight pain, discomfort, that is your body telling you that there is something wrong and that you really need to pay attention to it and have it checked out.
Yeah, there you go. That totally makes sense right there. Last question for you, because our minute's already up right here, basically on this Rally Towel Tuesday. But Billy and I were talking about it last week, and I know I talked to a lot of folks. There's this, this perception out there, or misperception, that once you go to a chiropractor, you have to keep going for the rest of your life. Like they do things that make you have to come back in order to keep seeing a chiropractor. So when you start, do you have to keep going, or what is the truth behind the myths and misperceptions about chiropractic care?
So that's so funny. So you only hear that from people that have never seen chiropractors, never people that actually have benefited from it. So that's kind of like saying, Dave, I really want to lose some weight and start feeling better about myself, so I'm going to start eating better. Yeah. But you know what the problem is? If I start doing that, I'm going to have to continue to do it. Once you feel good, you have to continue to do those things to feel well.
Yeah, that totally makes sense right there. All right, Dr. Keith Regie again from 100% Chiropractic in Canton, Georgia, joining us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. As always, Dr. Keith, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you, Dave.
All right, there you go. So you heard it right there again. And Billy D, my man, he's definitely somebody that, was not a believer, and now he is a believer because he's had his back cracked a few times. So
yeah, no, it feels a lot better. I haven't had to go for the major issue because I've been doing the maintain program. Again, it doesn't seem like anything's happening, but apparently there is something happening because I have not had any pain.
There's something to it right there. There's something to it right there.
For sure.
So, yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, again, a lot of things going on here in the world of sports. And one of the things that we talked about, again, NBA season coming to an end for our very own Atlanta Hawks. So I'm going to tee it up for you, Billy D. You go ahead and knock it out of the ballpark right here. What do you got to say to me this morning?
So,
Here we go.
So the Hawks literally get smoked.
Here's the white Charles Barkley we all know.
They literally get smoked. All right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have to listen to you on this program talk about how we should fire Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
Fire him.
Get rid of him.
And I had to listen to you say, I'm not somebody who talks about taking people's jobs. Well,
Except for the Falcons.
May I remind you?
And it's warranted.
Closer than that. May I remind you of when I sat in here just a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Georgia Bulldog basketball program.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about how they finished their conference thing, then go into the March Madness 2 years in a row getting smoked in the first round.
Yeah.
And I talked about needing to get rid of that coach.
Yeah.
And hold on, let's finish. And you were like, "Oh, well, we don't need to fire him. You know, we got to give him a chance." And I said, "Well, how many chances do we got to give him?" And you didn't have an answer. But we have one episode here with Quinn Snyder and the Hawks in the playoffs, and now all of a sudden you want to fire him? What is the difference between the Hawks and the Bulldogs? Quinn Snyder took a bunch of C players, in my opinion, and made them B players.
Yeah.
Okay, and we got them playing against A players, and we almost did something here. Now the Knicks woke up and took care of us like they should, just like they did Philly last night, by the way, who also lost by 40 points. Okay, but look,
they did.
But look, he did an amazing job with this group. We've got all these draft picks coming up. We got money to spend, and we have a good core. And you don't think what he did with that group, whenever he gets all this other leverage in front of him, that he's going to be able to do something with it? I mean, you are way out of line, Dave.
Way out of line.
Sorry.
Man, I got
way out of line.
I got called out right here. I mean, here's the thing about the picks. I mean, we had a number 1 overall pick in Ricochet,
in the worst draft ever,
and he can't even crack the bench in a 40-point blowout.
What's that got to do with this team?
My thing is, it's not necessarily just a coach thing; it's an organizational thing. I don't have faith that even with all these draft picks.
You didn't say fire the organization. You said fire Quinn Snyder.
Well, I didn't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the heat of the moment, the point I was trying to make is, when you play like that, it's like, well, wait a minute, maybe there might be something wrong here with an organizational stuff, and a lot of times it starts with the coach. I mean, that's where a lot of the blame is naturally going to fall.
Okay, let's fire Philly too. They lost by 40.
Well, yeah, maybe they should. I mean, and that's the thing about the NBA. That's the point I was making, was that the NBA coaches tend to have shorter leashes. Like, if they know it's not going to work, they usually get rid of the coach. And the example that I had, and his name escapes me, but that coach the few years ago that won Coach of the Year and got fired in the same year because he didn't get the team to the finals. You know what I'm talking about.
I forgot who that was, but
anyway, so I mean, there's situations like that. I'm not saying, now that things have calmed down a little bit, I'm not saying they should fire Quinn Snyder. I'm just saying,
blood pressure came down, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. I took a little bit more medicine. Speaking of the heart dog, but no, it's a situation where, I mean, you can look at that and you can say, hey, it may be a situation where you have to really evaluate everything in the organization. Whether that means the coach going or not, hey, I mean, to your point, I will say this. Yes, he took a group that I think got exposed in the playoffs for what they really were. And so now I think we're seeing that now. If you believed that this team was a contender and the wheels fell off the way they did, that's one thing. But if he felt like he took,
I don't think anybody believes
an achieving group or whatever and made them good, that totally fits. But I will say this about Mike White. With them expanding the field of NCAA teams from 64 to 76, guys like Mike White will never lose their job because, they'll get there. I mean, they'll definitely get there. I mean, 12 more teams now going into the field. And by the way, I did want to get your comment about that,
too. To see where you stand, that's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
all right, go ahead.
Yeah, but what do you think of that? The NCAA also, that was another point I wanted to get to too, was that expanding the field. There was some news that came out yesterday. It does look like they are going to go down that rabbit hole, and so next year, not 2 years or 3 years from now, next year we may have a dozen more teams in the field.
Come on, man, are you serious? I mean, let's get real.
That was straight from the intro. But that was a live version of what you hear on the Morning Rant intro, which, by the way, didn't play this morning on time. But so Billy D gave us a live version of it.
I hate it. It's terrible. I don't like it at all. I don't like the expansion. you got the main 64, which I already believe is too much, but it's a great bracket. It's a lot of fun. I'm good with that. I don't like that they added the 4 for the play-in already. They make it 68. I don't like that they're going to expand it. It's just, I mean, if you can't make the top 64, there's not really a point.
And I'm the same way. And it's like we talked about, and I talked about yesterday with Big John, and we both feel the same way. I mean, it's a money thing, obviously. It boils down to money. Not so much sure if it's coming directly from the NCAA or if it's coming from the conferences. That's the only thing. But it will allow, some of the Power 4, the SECs and so forth, to get an extra team or two, probably in the tournament, which is a revenue generator. No doubt about it. We all know that's where the NCAA makes their money, is off March Madness, because the college football playoff, that's a totally separate thing now and all that. So again, March Madness is where the NCAA makes the bulk of their budget throughout the year. So if they can add an extra round and get a little bit more TV coverage and get a little bit more this or that, then they're going to have their hand in that pocket.
I guess I don't see it, but I'm not there looking at the numbers. So to me, I'll take the quality and more viewers wanting to see great games. With big names and big TV. I'm not tuning in to see those lower end teams. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, I totally feel you.
Doesn't draw me.
There you go. All right. Well, we are up against the final break of our program right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. Hey, visit us on social media. The Sports Pig is on Facebook. The Morning Rant is on Instagram. You can also watch full video episodes of the show daily on YouTube. The podcast version of the Morning Rant is available on our website, sportspigradio.com, and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify and Podbean. You can also catch me on Twitter at DaveGarner777, and this is the Morning Rant right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. We'll be right back.
Whatever cooling solution makes the most sense, Green Heating and Cooling is ready to help. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, Green will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. With Green, you get more than just a technician. You get someone who's committed to meeting your needs and achieving a high level of training and skills. Someone backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Nobody understands the ins and outs of home comfort like Green. So whatever your situation or budget, Green Heating and Cooling has a solution for you. Bryant. Whatever it takes.
Grand Slam! 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball.
Morning grind with Pork Rinds.
Welcome to the show.
It's the Morning Rant, weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on 98.1, 93.7, and 101.1 on the H2 dial. WPGY, The Sports Pig.
Hey, welcome back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday. Again, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Dave Garner in with you till 11 o'clock. Chuck Oliver, the king of college football with Southern Sports Today, coming up at 11 this morning as we dive back into some NIL, some recruiting news, and all that. Again, Southern Sports Today with Chuck Oliver right here on sportspigradio.com. I'm in here chopping it up with my man Billy D here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. And, man, throwing shade and everything about the Atlanta Hawks, man. I love it, man. We got some good energy this morning. We want to hear from you again. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open at 866-888-0744. Once again, that number, 866-888-0744. In just a moment, we are going to reveal and this was a conversation that kind of got sparked yesterday with Big John, but I want to carry it over today because I know you follow this, Atlanta Falcons organization, certainly since youth like me. We're talking about Mount Rushmore, top 4 all-time Falcons. Who would you put on that Mount Rushmore as far as guys that stand out to you as far as that represent the organization or what have you? So we will reveal that here in a moment. But as we do that, we want to give you guys a chance that might be listening to the radio show live to do that as well. Give us your top 4 Atlanta Falcons or whatever team you want to do. You can do the Buffalo Bills, you can do the Raiders, you can do the Miami Dolphins, who cares? It can be basketball, football, baseball, what have you. Give us your Mount Rushmore of your favorite team at 866-888-0744. You'll have to text it, but text us to it right here on the Jasper Coca-Cola text line, and we'll talk about this right here on the program. But right now, it's time to talk some food.
Time for this week's restaurant inspection.
Oh, it smells so good in here.
on the Morning Rant.
All right, so a weekly feature right here. We like to do this with Billy D because he spent a lot of time in the restaurant industry, and this is where we kind of go over some of the scores. We brag on the ones that do well. We talk about some of the ones that don't do so well. I will tell you this: the lowest score we had last week was the lowest since we've been doing this on the program, and it was a 50. Right? I mean, we talked about it. It was actually Thursday because you were on here with me. Yep. Well, I can tell you that particular restaurant, and I don't want to hurt anybody's business, but that particular restaurant came back with an 84 on this week's inspection score, which is nice. Still some work to do, though. But again, so they've bounced back into a level of respectability. Again, all this brought to you by your friends at Eat Safe Cherokee. Again, they're on Facebook, so you can go to Eat Safe Cherokee and check out the weekly restaurant inspection scores followed by or posted by the Georgia Department of Public Health. Do want to brag on a couple of 100s. Again, today is Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
And there are a couple of Mexican restaurants that are doing really well. One of those, I believe, is El Jinete. I'm assuming that's a Mexican restaurant. That may not be. But it's off of Highway 92 in Woodstock. With a name like that, I just assumed. Maybe I assume wrong. I don't know. And then you got like Zaxby's in Woodstock, Truett's Chick-fil-A on Highway 92, 100, Boston Elementary School in Woodstock as well. So some good things going on there. The schools have been doing very well lately. Jimmy John's with a 96 off of Cumming Highway in Canton. The Ball Ground Waffle House with a 91, and Little Caesars Riverstone Parkway in Canton with a 90 as well. And so again, go on there. Again, our friends at Eat Safe Cherokee, and check them out.
Hey, Cinco de Mayo, go support your Mexican restaurants. Listen, people know me, know that I've said I could eat Mexican every day.
Yeah.
But especially today, go out, support them, and get you some tacos, have a good time. Great time to support your local Mexican restaurant.
There you go. Once again, our restaurant inspection score is brought to you by your friends at Papa John's in LJ. Better pizza, better ingredients. Order online now at papajohns.com. So there you have it. Another round of food. And I'm trying to think where we went this weekend. We had a couple different. Oh, yeah, we hung out in Canton for a little while over in Canton. We've got, places, of course, all over North Georgia we're trying to get to. But a couple different places. We tried a Peruvian restaurant on Saturday night while the Derby was going on there. It is pretty good. It was good. I enjoyed it. And then we ended up going next door, I think, to B&B Social, which is a butcher and bottle, which is one of those they've opened in LJ. There's one off of Sixes Road, in Woodstock. So again, a lot of good places.
Getting around. I know you got around like that.
I tried to, man. I tried.
Peruvian?
Now
really?
Well, that was
okay.
we met up with some friends, and so we decided to try something different.
Man, it must be nice.
Yeah. Must be nice making all that money. It was reasonable, but see, you're a big foodie, so
Yeah, I'll try anything once.
That's my saying. People are like, I don't know about that. We actually had, believe it or not, cow heart.
Okay, maybe I won't try everything once.
Well, and here's the thing. It tasted just like beef, and that's what they were saying. It was and it was on a skewer. They served them on skewers, little square steaks.
Yeah, I'd give that a shot. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, it tasted pretty much like snake.
Why not?
Steak. Not snake.
Snake?
Steak. But the thing about it is when you're eating something like that, even if it tastes great, which it did, it's hard to get over the stigma of knowing what it is, right? So, like the other folks I was with, right? Exactly. The people, our friends that were with us, everything. It was like, well, I just don't know. It tastes good, but I just can't eat any more of it because I know what it is, right? So, it is definitely one of those things that you would want to try. You would want to know about after the fact.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
It's kind of like the Funny Farm movie with Chevy Chase with the what was it where he was trying the lamb fries and didn't know what they were. He's eating them. Oh man, we had never seen anybody eat lamb fries like that. The record's going down tonight. Yeah, the previous, and he breaks the record before he realizes that they're sheep testicles.
Yeah.
And and so so again,
they were good till then.
They were good till then. But anyway, hey, we appreciate it once again right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. Let's talk about our Mount Rushmore for a moment for the Atlanta Falcons. John and I kind of did this yesterday, and it all started with a conversation on Twitter. Again, you can follow Big John Davis at John Davis _65. Again, his number during his playing days with the Buffalo Bills. And somebody had posted something about the Atlanta Falcons and their top four, and they had Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and some of the newer players on there. And John was like, "Hey, where's the noter? Like, where's Jeff Van Note? Where, some of these guys?" So it kind of sparked a conversation yesterday about it. But I want to ask you, because you're a big Falcon fan as well. So what would your Mount Rushmore look like?
Man, you know what I hate about the Rushmores is you can only get 4.
You're going to leave out some really, really good.
I just can't
folks.
narrow down to 4, but I'll throw some names. I'm always interested to what former players think. So what Big John had to say would always be interesting to me. People who played the game at the highest level and what they see is always very intriguing. But, for me, from a viewer, just loving the sport, I would absolutely put Matt Ryan in there, Deion Sanders. Yeah. Although I like people who spend most of their career, I don't like that he jumped around so much. But when he was here, he was.
Oh, yeah.
Was it.
No doubt. No doubt.
What about Gerald Riggs? You got Riggs. You got Scott Case.
Right. Yeah.
Van Note. Yeah, I love Van Note. It's a great choice.
Right.
Julio Jones. So I gave you a lot more than 4. But I could give you probably 4 more. But it's just so many great players to choose from.
William Andrews. Is definitely somebody.
He's got different. You got different eras and the way the game was played versus how it's played now.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's got to stand for something. Maybe you have 2 separate Rushmores. I don't know.
I think the one that was posted on Twitter that sparked the original conversation had Claude Humphrey, it had Deion Sanders, and then it had Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I'm kind of like you, and John agreed with this too. We kind of like the guys that stay with the team their whole career. That's the one thing, like a Chipper Jones, for example, with the Braves. He started and finished, with Atlanta and all, of course, in between. And so, but it's hard to take a guy like Matt Ryan who maybe went to Indy for a year and say, okay, well, you're not on Mount Rushmore,
that doesn't
right?
Count.
You know what I'm saying?
Count.
So I definitely think when you look at something like that, but you look at a guy like Deion, for example. That one might go against the grain a little bit because he wasn't here very long, but the impact he had on not only on the franchise but also the city and just the culture and everything. Deion again was certainly a guy that left his mark, albeit not here his entire career. I was always a big Jeff Van Note fan growing up. I played center in youth football and I wore number 57, because of Jeff Van Note. And 17 seasons on the team as the anchor on that offensive line. Again, you're gonna leave somebody out.
I was at that game. They retired his jersey.
Oh wow,
that was pretty cool. I remember they brought out the 57 Chevy, and they retired his jersey. I was at that game.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
I was at the Matt Ryan Ring of Honor induction on that Thursday night game a year or two ago with Kirk Cousins when they beat the Buccaneers, in overtime, and. During the game, they're sitting there, and those things tend to run long. Well, the clock's running, the halftime clock, and the specialists start coming out. And the Tampa Bay specialists start coming out to, they're punting over the stage, while the thing's going on, and you hear
disrespectful.
You hear this fan yell out, "Hey, number 4," which was Chase McLaughlin, their kicker, get off the field and show some respect, which I think he had a few choice words in there as well. But yeah, those things always happen.
Of course, by Tampa.
Yeah, of course. But hey, the Falcons ended up winning the game there. But no, it's definitely hard, and you could do the same thing with the Braves. The Hawks, obviously, Dominique Wilkins is a lock. I think that one maybe gets a little bit more challenging. Here's the question: do you put Trae Young in there?
No. That's a fast no.
That's a fast no right there. You think about Kevin Willis. You think about some of the different folks that they've had. I had the opportunity to meet John Concack when I was a kid, and he
John Contract.
Yes, exactly. That was his nickname because he got the biggest contract there was, and only averaged 2 points a game and so forth there.
I think him and Kirk Cousins had the same age.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly. But John was a big fellow though, man. He was all of 7 feet plus, certainly there. But yeah, you could do it. The Braves, obviously, I think that would be even tougher when you look at all the guys that are, in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, Hank Aaron's pretty much a lock, I would say, in that top 4. But, beyond that, man, there's a lot of different directions you could go, especially if you're trying to represent the different eras, right? The different decades, like you talked about.
Right. I wouldn't even know where to begin to start with that one either. You got Bob Horner, Dale Murphy, you got all these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
Warren Spahn, and then of course, obviously, the pitching that you had with Glav and Smoltz, of course, and Maddox, and I was a big Greg Maddox fan, but it's like, okay, well, that eats up your whole four, basically. I mean, if you're putting them in there, so I mean, between Eddie Matthews, between all the different folks that have gone in,
but isn't that nice though that you can't do that?
Oh, yeah.
That you can't. Right. That means you've had a pretty nice team.
See, like with the Hawks, I feel like you could probably probably get that one pretty quick, and everybody's list would be
very short.
Would be very similar. I mean, everybody's going to have Dominique. I don't know if you put Pete Maravich in there or not.
Dominique's the only one we can all agree on.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's like, number one, Dominique Wilkins. Yeah. Of course so. The human highlight reel. And of course, now his son's playing at UGA, I guess, and everything. But hey, we get what a show. It's been a fun show, and the second half's been a lot of fun, especially right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday presented by Geiger Legal. We're about out of time here today, but just a reminder, we will be live on location tomorrow from 10 to 12 at the pub in Ellijay for our Winging It Wednesday. Again, the pub in Ellijay offers $1 wings all day long, and they're really good. So come on up. If you're going to be around Ellijay tomorrow, come by and see us. Otherwise, you can listen right here on all the normal platforms and so forth, and we hope to see you there. It'll be a lot of fun, right?
Yes. It's gonna be a great time.
You gonna be there tomorrow?
I might swing by. We'll see. I'm always down for some dollar wings.
Well, Big John's still up in the Raleigh area, I believe. I know he's coming back at some point. So we're going to try to get him on. If we can get him on, if we can make all the technology work, we'll have him on there. But nonetheless, we've had a lot of fun here today. Hey, Billy D, thanks for bringing it as always, my man, right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday.
Yes, always. Pleasure to be here.
I got to think of a rebuttal. For next week. So we got to figure it out. Hey, man, as always, again, text us on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Even if we're not on the air, you can still text the line, and we'll reveal it on the next day's show if you've got your Mount Rushmore top four for your favorite team. 866-888-0744. Also, visit us on social media. The Sports Pig is on Facebook. Our show, The Morning Rant, is on Instagram. You can also watch full episodes on YouTube on the daily. The podcast version of The Morning Rant is available on our website, sportspigradio.com, and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify, Podbean, you name it. You can also catch me on Twitter at Dave Garner 777. We end every show the same way every day by saying, if you don't know,
you better ask somebody.
We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on The Morning Rant.
Tired of shouting your business's name into the void and getting nothing but crickets? Your brand deserves more than awkward billboard glances and flyers lining bird cages. Right now, listeners are hearing me ramble on instead of your ad. That's a touchdown for missed opportunities and a fumble for your wallet.
Recovered, Atlanta, game over.
Your ad could be here, making fans laugh, cheer, and most importantly, call you. Go to sportspigradio.com or call 678-454-9552 and get your business off the bench and into the game.